This video is not about whether a system is good or bad. It's about what a system teaches players to do. In multiplayer games, players don't act on intention, they act on incentives. And when participation is punished, avoidance and exploitation become rational behavior. This video examines how Ashes of Creation's corruption system shapes player decisions in practice. Ashes of Creation is currently in alpha. Systems are unfinished, and everything shown here is subject to change. This video is not about balance complaints. It is about system behavior. The corruption system exists to discourage unprovoked killing. According to developer explanations, players who kill non-PvP flag targets accumulate corruption. Corruption is intended as punishment. As corruption increases, penalties escalate. These penalties include experience debt, item loss on death, and reduced combat effectiveness. The stated goal is to punish griefing, without removing open-world PvP. That is the intended design. Now let's look at what actually gives corruption in-game. Through testing, 4 corruption levels were observed. Killing a non-PvP flagged player grants corruption. Killing a trader's mule while they are transporting goods also grants corruption, if the trader does not fight back. Additional kills while already corrupted increase corruption further. At this point, it's important to understand what corruption actually does. Corruption is not a single state. It escalates. As corruption level increases, penalties become more severe. Even at early levels, corrupted players already risk item loss on death. As corruption increases further, experience debt grows, combat effectiveness is reduced, and recovery becomes more difficult. The more corrupted you become, the weaker your character gets, and the harder it is to recover. These effects are cumulative. That leads to the next question: how do you remove corruption? In practice, there are only 2 ways. The first is farming experience. In theory, gaining experience slowly reduces corruption. As long as opposing players are PvP flagged, you can defend yourself without gaining corruption. However, corruption applies debuffs. As corruption increases, your character becomes weaker. Fights take longer, mistakes are punished harder. And because killing a corrupted player does not grant corruption, corrupted players become targets. This makes experience farming possible, but increasingly unreliable as corruption levels rise. The second method is dying. Each death reduces corruption. However, the amount removed depends on how corrupted you are. The higher your corruption level, the more deaths are required. Each death also applies experience debt and item loss. So removing corruption through death comes at escalating cost, with very little control over what you lose. This creates a loop. You can attempt to farm experience while weakened and hoping to avoid other players. Or you can die repeatedly, absorbing experience debt and item loss. Once corrupted, recovery is no longer clean or controlled. It is slow, costly, and driven by attrition. This is where the current issues appear. During a trade, traders are placed into a losing decision. If the trader does not fight back, their mount is killed and the cargo is lost. If the trader fights back, they become PvP flagged and fair game for everyone nearby. As a result, the safest option is often to lose the cargo and let the attacker take corruption. If the trader does want to fight, the optimal choice is to wait. Let the mule die. Then engage in PvP afterward. At that point, the attacker is already corrupted. If the trader kills them, the corrupted attacker loses items. Even at corruption level 1, this can mean losing 1, 2, or even 3 items. This makes PvP around trading unattractive for attackers and delayed for defenders. Conflict is pushed away from the moment where it should naturally occur. Traders are punished for defending their cargo. Attackers avoid killing traders who refuse to fight. The result is a system that incentivizes exploitation. Low-level or disposable accounts can harass traders, forcing them into bad choices. If the trader fights back, they are PvP flagged and killed by larger groups. If they do not fight back, they lose the trade. Either way, the outcome is negative. This punishes solo and small group PvP, especially players who are not trying to grief, but simply want to engage in risk-based PvP around trading. The system does not reward skill or decision-making. It rewards numbers, patience, and exploitation. This does not encourage PvP. It punishes participation. Ashes of Creation does not currently offer open-world PvP with meaningful risk-based trading. Instead, it has a corruption system that acts as a deterrent for both PvP and PvE players. Any system that punishes participation will be exploited or avoided. The corruption system does not discourage griefing. It incentivizes it. If corruption is meant to discourage griefing, why does it reward the players most willing to exploit it?